Hello. Hello. Welcome. Let's tune in and brighten and lighten the space with some healing tones of 432 hertz. Oh, I can also brighten my phone. Beautiful. Sound harmonics. Yes. Yes. I hope you are doing well. Look at this. There's a light over in the Frankenstein place. There's a light burning in the fireplace. Okay, let's see what spirit wants us to talk about today. Are you ready? Interbeing. Beautiful. This gorgeous connectedness, interconnectedness, how the one affects the many, right? Also, I had a dream where there were a bunch of these kitties keeping me safe from someone who was trying to get me to come out into danger. It was interesting. Yeah, because the person was, I was on a porch in a house. This person was driving away. And then I saw Lynx walk out in front of him, and he stopped and he got out of his vehicle and he walked over to the yard, the front yard, and he's like, "You got to come with me because there's lynx around," right? And I'm like, as he's saying this, more of them are popping out and they're all kind of around him. And I'm like, "No, you got to come to me because you're surrounded," right? But then one came out between, like, the pathway that I could see, like, just come to me, right? Then one stepped out, and then they were coming at him, and he was kind of like backing up against this partition that was there by the walkway. And it was the whole thing. And I grabbed like butter knives because that's what was there in this like vessel. So I grabbed a bunch and I started chucking them to try and get the cats to be distracted enough for him to run, something, right? Cause a distraction. But they just turned into like balloons thrown in the wind, like they just, nothing was happening. And then one jumped on him. It was like one up here, one across here, and one down here, like just their bodies completely covered them. And then they pulled him off. There was no like, it wasn't graphic or bloody or anything. It was more just a covering and removal. And then I realized, oh, he was the threat. And those guys were keeping me safe. And also my perspective from where I could stand, someone else was like, "You got to do this thing." And where I was standing, it was like, no, that's not the way. So it was something about trusting in your perspective from where you are standing. And wow, sorry, I just totally went off on that. Okay. but apparently it is irrelevant. Something about your protection, your perspective. When you're seeking external validation or confirmation or whatever, be sure that you're constantly checking in with self to make sure that it is working with you, right? Especially if you're taking advice. We're just trying things, right? To see if it's going to work for us. But there are some things that right away your internal system is like, that doesn't work for me. That's not going to work for me, or it's not resonating for me, right? And to listen to that. Because from where you're standing, you have a better perspective than someone else coming in out of nowhere, trying to convince you that what they see is better, safer, or whatever, right? Okay. Well, that's what Spirit wants us to talk about. Protection. Protect your energy, your space, your position, your knowing. Okay. But interbeingness. We'll see what the Arcturians. Surrender to the frequency of love. Okay. That one is surrender. And this one is a frequency. The spider, right? Your web that your electromagnetic web, your energy field, right? And how you tend it. So your frequency, okay, so also with the interbeingness is your effect, right? How you affect your environment, your circumstances, your people, your places, your things, and your world, right? Because our frequency emits, it radiates, it projects, it ripples, it does all of the things. And this current world that we're living in is a result of unconscious rippling frequency, right? Not to say that there aren't conscious people out there who are consciously rippling, but there is a imbalance and majority. Okay. Ote. Surrender to the process, to the ripples that are already bouncing back at you, right? This is the Empress. The ripple are the seeds that you plant, right? Her outputting, her wishes, her desires, her intentions, her magic, and then the recall, the return, the receiving of the blooms, of the manifestations, of the reality shifting in response to. So you're surrendering to what is now in the understanding, hello, we're on the nose about something. In the understanding that your now is a result of previous ripples, and so to change your now, you must change your now ripple. Yes. Okay. Okay. We got notice. It's your resilience, your endurance. It's also the old ways of doing things. There could be still many ripplings from the past surfacing. It's cyclical, not linear. So let's just look in the book. Look in the book here. Keywords: need, resistance, effort, delays, and creative friction. This is a message that you are made of bold and powerful magic. Have faith and persevere. Beautiful. The honey badger also speaks of, resilience, tenacity, and when life is hard, it is often through your suffering and your labor that you truly learn the powerful stuff you are made of, okay? And this is part of that takeaway. There's the hummingbird. She's gone. That takeaway from the coal experience, right? The heat and the pressure, which I found something is like piezo electricity or something like that. Anyways, it's like transformation that occurs through pressure and heat, right? Anyways, that environment, right? Now we're diamonds, or we're in various stages of becoming diamonds, right? And so this is a recognition and an understanding, and the takeaway, the experiential gold that allows you to engage in the opposite with gratitude. Does that make sense? So if you were used to suffering, it is to ensure that when you are not suffering, you are in a state of gratitude. Something like that, okay? Wow. Got the Chariot and the Queen of Wands standing in your authenticity and moving timelines, okay? So that is validating something that I was just saying. This movement away from the coal ways into shining abundance, residual frequency loops, remnants. Okay. We'll let the cards speak and get us there. It's there. It's there. It's right in there. What do we got here? It's the Two of Cups. It's coming up all day. It's the Two of Cups. What the hey? Okay. So, engaging in the world. Okay, so it's making me think of past relationships that have failed. Each time you have a takeaway, something that you learn, right? A redefinition, like, well, I know that that's what I don't want. Oh, well, I found out that I actually need this thing that I wasn't getting there, or whatever, right? It's contrast helps us to define. And your contrast is to help you recognize and value, honor with gratitude, beautiful, overflowing relationships that come into your life, right? Also, the surrender to the frequency to show you how you have the work that you've done on your frequency, right? You've gone through a lot of shifts and changes and movements and evolutions. And so your frequency is way different than it was before. And so allow the reality, your reality, to project, to reflect the work you've done. Yeah. Yeah. And it will be both, right? It'll show a little bit of your expansion reflection, and it'll show a little bit of the old way, right? And those old reflections are opportunities for you to engage, react, respond differently, to prove energetically that it's different. Things are different. And in doing so, you tweak that frequency to keep reflecting the change, right? And it'll also show you glimmers of that change. And so you want to make sure that your focus is upon the changes that you want to see, and only observe the other things. There's always remnants, right? In case you want to go back, in case you want to slip back into the old ways, right? Okay. Something about that. Okay. What about this Two of Cups? What are we talking about here? Oh, it's a change in your wheel of destiny. Wheel of fortune. Okay, yes. Turning in your favor because of this beautiful these. Okay, gorgeous. This is a good sign. Very good. This is confirming that shift. The wheel turning in your favor. So that's beautiful. What's this? We've got your patience. Aha. So meanwhile, you're being patient and prepared, tending your spiritual garden, your connection, right? Your awareness levels and intuition, trusting. You are putting to death, right? Releasing, surrendering the old ways that held you back, right? All of those things. This is a 10. 10s are the end, right? We're done with the version that held back, hesitated, doubted, feared, projected, reacted, lashed out, over defended, all of those things. Was that 10? And also your ability to receive but also the signs and synchronicities from your intuition, from your spirit team, from your guides, right? Leading you, directing you, guiding you along your path. This has been another, like the work, the level of resilience, patience and faith and consistency and dedication are all necessary, are all your takeaways, are all your strengthening points, right? The endurance, and strength building. Okay, so I want to put those just over here as their own little thing. And we've got spark of passion, of creativity, of inspiration that moves you, that breaks you free, that flips your wheel, that you self-reflect. A spark, an inspiration that makes you or encourages you or forces you or allows you to go in and see how far you've come, to recognize where you've been. I mean, what's standing out is like these 4 cards that we just discussed, right? And then we've got these 4 cups coming in after this spark, after this inspiration, after this idea, after this aha moment, after this moment of clarity, right? When you strike a match in the dark, the whole room fills with light for a second. And then you're like, aha, there's the corner, or whatever you're looking for, right? That you go and sit, and then you're like, okay. It's like having these experiences to refer to as you move forward. And this is what experience affords us, right? More to tap into. I'm getting like riding a bike, okay? You grew up when you were younger riding a bike. You had many kinds, many colors, many sizes, shapes, up, down, hills, around the corner. Back in the day, we had to pedal to get around. And I went too far. Dang it. What was I saying? Spirit is going to remind me. Okay, and then later on in your life, you haven't ridden a bike in forever, and then later on in your life, you join a triathlon, right? Because you're crazy, and there's a bike riding contest, and you're like, well, this is great because I have experience in my past. I understand the mechanics. I know that I can do it, and right, you have the experience at your disposal. Okay, something about that. Okay, what's this over here? It's that dang chariot. Okay, because we are moving, we are shifting, we are changing as the frequency that we are emitting is, right? And so the environment that we exist within also shifts and changes. Okay. And in this new world, in this timeline shift, there is gorgeousness. In the timeline shift, you are living and flowing from your heart space, receiving all the good stuff, okay? And by good stuff, I mean the good vibrations. We got those sweet sensation. Just able to receive a compliment, receive help, receive support, receive love, receive guidance, receive healing, receive inspiration, All of the things that I can't think of right now. All of the things. Beautiful. Receive yourself as the new version, as the overflowing cup. The thing that's standing out to me are these hands and her holding the cup and this receiving this wish, right? So for some of us, the wish is a peaceful nervous system, a peaceful mind, a peaceful heart, to be able to engage and interact with the world without suspicion, without too much suspicion. A little bit of suspicion is okay. I mean, we need to continue to ask questions and engage, right? Engage. Okay. Yes, so that's beautiful. Queen of being, okay, male or female, we're talking about energy, and the queens are about being. And so being in your heart space, being one able to flow and go, one creative, one in receiving mode. Beautiful. What is this? What is this one? Okay, it's Seven of Swords. This is my transformation, the wounds and traumas of the past, creating the boundaries around you that turn into a environment that you can transform in, right? Just like the coal and the pressure. Physo. It's like a P-S. So is the P silent? Is the S silent? Is it a Psizo? I can't even say it. Okay. This, why is this coming up here? Well, it is brought to you by this evolution, this frequency rising, this transformation, change, being able to receive, being able to shift frequencies and timelines and draw in fortune and love was all because of the transformation that you went through. It's all because of your resilience and your dedication to yourself, to your healing, to your growth, to your transformation. That's why. Can I get a witness? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. The Ten of Pentacles just landed on all that and a bag of chips, okay? Legacy, fruition, fruiting time, harvest, abundance, but like lifelong, right? Generational. And this is part of this I always think of ancestral inheritance like baggage, right? Think of you get a little box of inherited things, right? And it gets passed on generation to generation. And it is each generation's job to open that box up, take everything out, reassess the things, and only put back in what is relevant. Okay, so example. My Oma, who died 10 years ago, is it 10 years ago now? A couple years before she died, and she was up visiting, or over visiting, she wanted a eucalyptus plant. And I told her, okay, I'll keep an eye out for one, and I'll buy it for you when I see it. She's like, okay. Well, 10 years later, so just a couple weeks ago, just last week, okay, I went to my farm that I like to go to, and they had a eucalyptus plant. So I was like, oh, gotta buy this for my Oma, right? I told her I would, and so here I'm doing it. So I buy it, I bring it home, and then I'm like, okay, well, what do I gotta, like, how do I take care of this? Where do I plant it? Like, right? So I Google it. Well, it turns out that eucalyptus is toxic to humans and pets, and it's the oils. And this was like jamming my brain weird, because I'm pretty sure like eucalyptus is the smell or the essential oil, or that I always pick whenever I go to like a hydropath or something like that, and they always ask what to put in the sauna, and we always pick eucalyptus, right? Anyways, it's ingesting the oils, but even a little bit, and the plant itself, it emits oils, right? So I'm like, well, what the heck? So I got to get this plant out of my space. No, I'm not taking any, it's not worth it for me. It also grows really fast. You got to keep changing the pot because it keeps growing. It gets super big. And all I'm thinking is just bigger, more, and faster toxins everywhere, right? So I got to get rid of that. But my lesson is that was an ancestral thing, right? My Oma was like, I need one of those. And I was like, I'll buy one for you. And turns out it's toxic, right? And so no. So this is part of the editing process of ancestral inheritance. And so which is what you've been doing. This is part of your process, right? This is part of how your ripple affects the rest, and how it affects your legacy, the box that you leave behind, right? It's not going to have eucalyptus in it when I pass it off, right? That kind of a thing. Okay. So that's kind of gorgeous, especially with the Wheel of Fortune. You had to become one able to receive before you received it. This is why we went from the Ace of Pentacles, where you are becoming one able to hold it, to catch it, 33333 on the phone, yeah. And then it turns into a 10, right? Where you took it, planted it, allowed it to blossom into something that is now going to produce every year, right? Every season. Forever. So beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, anybody else want to come up? Just that guy? Okay, who's this? Oh my God. It's the 10 of Cups, okay? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. You just got the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles back to back, okay? Wow. Talk about your wheel turning in your favor. love, harmony, peace, joy, prosperity, abundance. Can you feel it? Can you take it? Can you accept it? Can you hold it? Can you honor it? Can you be in a state of gratitude and not deny it or push it away or give it away? That is the question, right? But yesterday's reading was you did well. This is you surrendering to the frequency that you are now, despite the current now's reflection. It's still reflecting residuals, right? Yes. I mean, wow. I feel like I say wow all the time. Okay. Okay. Wow, 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 wow. Just every day. Okay. We got the deer, which is earth. And we got the hawk, which is air. Every day. Okay. Okay, dear. What you got for us? Loving, intuitive, graceful, the mother. The deer represents the feminine aspect of earth energy. This energy is available to all creatures, regardless of gender, but is especially potent in new parents. During the first few days, they are fully present, nurturing, and calm. Their inner beauty radiates and a sense of grace calms the room. A deer personality affects others in this way, drawing them towards a quiet tenderness. The deer card may appear when a birth or celebration of new life draws near, and when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. Beautiful Queen of Cups energy. This could also be for yourself, right? When those old reflections appear, you get a glimpse of that old version of yourself, and that's a good opportunity to give them love while you release them, while you surrender them, right? While you put them to rest. Thank you for getting me here. I got this now, right? Okay, when in balance, receptive, compassionate, and nurturing. When out of balance, concerned and protective. And to bring into balance nature and children. So, the birth of a child or a new idea. What was it? Or celebration of a new life, right? Birth is also, a new idea, a new opportunity, a aha moment, a birth of self, a stepping out, something like that. Okay. And Zahak, watchful, all-seeing messenger of divinity. The sharp eyes of the hawk watch over our every move. Nope, they just watch our every move. This keen-eyed bird has the ability to see every little detail as well as the bigger picture. When this card appears, fate has its eyes on you, and the winds are shifting. It is said that the hawk carries news upon its wings and is sent from divinity itself to deliver it. The message should not be taken lightly. Though it may seem small or insignificant, it will eventually redirect your course. Okay. When in balance, sees clearly and intuitive. When out of balance, sees too much, suspicious. Okay. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. To bring into balance, perspective shift. Wow. I can't even believe what's going on down here. Okay, it's just like, what? What? Okay. Let's get a crystal. Get a crystal to come out. Whoop, there it is. It's a number 11, which, is gorgeous because in the middle of this card is an 11. Okay, look at this card. Wow, 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 wow. Right? All the colors. I love it. Let's put you over here. Okay, 11. What you got for us? It's emotional freedom. Okay. Love, peace, joy, harmony. Gorgeousness. Courage, action, and release. Each emotion naturally moves like a wave through your body. It gains strength, reaches a peak, and with time fades into the past. This is true for both positive and negative emotions. Allowing these emotions to flow through your body is a natural, healthy process. Holding an emotion beyond its peak causes an emotional blockage, restricting your life's fullest potential. This card is a sign to release any reoccurring emotions and their associated behavior patterns. You may consider attending a workshop, engaging a healthy healing practitioner, or undertaking your own inner work. Whichever path you choose, your emotional freedom enables deep inner peace. Beautiful. Yes. Yes, thank you. Goodbye. Okay. Get a couple shots. All of them. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Let's see. So we've got the shooting star. Okay. And what this is giving me is this was your process in becoming a star. And then when you had this inspiration, this is your movement into your alternate reality. This is your wish coming true. You becoming one able to shoot, right? To fly, to shoot across the sky, right? Okay, and look at this holy moliness over here. Okay, what the heck? Okay, we've got land ho. So something about the bird's eye view and getting to the next place, getting to your destination, which, you know, this is timeline shifts and gorgeous turning of the wheel, and, you know, this thing here that's happening and this thing here that's happening. Okay, soul tribe retrieval. This is you running, recognizing, and being like, I'm over here. I'm coming to get ya. We've got Hecate. Okay, she is your liminal space guide. She is the one who ensures that your ancestral box is released of anything that will keep you from your next point in life, your next stage of beingness in abundance. This is your fruit, finally ripe for the picking. Okay, and look at how big it is. It's giant. So major abundance, right? And we've got the dragon. The dragons are here to help with your flow, to help you burn away all of the resistances, the residuals of the past, so that you can flow freely and gorgeously. Right? Okay. So that is what I have for you, gorgeousness. Okay. Wow. Wherever you are, recognize where you want to go, be intentional, and get there, right? Start walking one foot in front of the other and make it gorgeous. Love and appreciate you. See you next time.